How's it going, everybody? I'm Ryan from Minus the Gym, and lately I have been on a juicing craze. I've just been juicing all kinds of fruits and vegetables, but specifically I've been juicing a lot of beets, the beetroot. And I want to explain in this video all the health benefits of beets and why I'm juicing them a lot. But before we do that, let's first dive into this simple, delicious juice recipe that I want to share with you. Here are all the ingredients you'll need. 3 medium-sized beets or 2 large beets, 4 carrots to add a little sweetness, 2 apples, I prefer using Granny Smith so they're a little tart, and half a lemon as well. So first I like to chop up the beets and the apples just because they're too big to fit into my juicer as is. So I chop them up. Then I score the lemon all the way around so that the peel is able to sort of peel off, just like this. And what you want to do is make sure you leave the pith behind if you can. That's that white fuzzy part. There's a lot of nutrients in the pith. For the carrots, just make sure they're washed and you chop off the ends, and then you're good to go. And if you want, you can add about 1 inch of ginger root to the recipe as well, but I didn't have any ginger on hand. First to go into the juicer are the beets. So I put in the beets and then followed by the carrots, and I press those down and start juicing them. Out comes this beautiful magenta colored juice. I really like how the beets and carrots mix together. And then I go ahead and put in the apples and the lemon, and that really fills up the volume a lot with some clear sweet juice. And that's really the flavor that's going to make this more tolerable if you're not a fan of beets like me. Then just stir it up a little bit and pour it into a glass, and you have yourself beautiful, delicious beet juice that's full of nutrients and has plenty of health benefits, which is what we'll talk about throughout the rest of this video, including beet juice can actually help you perform better in your workouts. Okay, so that's the recipe. I hope you try it out and you really enjoy it. And honestly, I'm not a huge fan of beets, like I mentioned. It's just something about beets, they kind of taste like dirt to me or something a little bit. So the fact that I can make this juice, and with the combination of the carrots, the apple, the lemon, I can actually enjoy it. I can get the benefits, the health benefits of beets while enjoying the beverage. That really speaks volumes about that simple recipe. It's really easy to make, and it makes beets taste good. Sorry guys, hope you don't mind, but I'm going to drink this while we talk. So there's actually several reasons why beets are so amazing for you. And the first benefit I want to talk about is the nitric oxide production. It's something that you probably hear about a lot if you look into pre-workout supplements. You'll see there's supplements out there that are nitric oxide boosters. So real quick, the story behind nitric oxide and why it can help you in your workouts is because your arteries, the innermost layer, like if this is your artery, if it's like a tunnel, the inside layer of your artery is called the endothelium. And the endothelium naturally produces nitric oxide gas. And what that nitric oxide does is it helps carry the blood through your blood vessels so it can transport oxygen, nutrients, everything that blood carries throughout your system. Since oxygen, for example, is important for aerobic exercise, it just makes sense that increasing your nitric oxide production is going to help your workouts. And that's why they make these pre-workout supplements. Well, beets, it turns out, naturally boost your nitric oxide production. So they actually, I just found this out. I meet with a sports dietitian on a regular basis, on an annual basis. I meet with her, and when I told her that I was really into juicing beets lately, she said, "Oh, have you tried those pre-workout supplements?" Apparently they make supplements now that are just powderized beets, and you can just mix it in water. So if you don't want to juice, you can just buy this supplement. One of them is called Super Beets. You can just buy this supplement and mix the powder in water, drink it, and you get the nitric oxide boost from beets, just like if you were to juice the beets. And aside from boosting your performance for workouts, having increased nitric oxide production can also help your whole cardiovascular system, including lowering your blood pressure. And the benefits of having improved blood flow from nitric oxide goes beyond just performance in your workouts and the lower blood pressure. I mean, it'll increase blood flow to your brain, and you'll probably find that you can think clearer and release any brain fog you might be having. There's just so many benefits to boosting your nitric oxide and having better blood flow. The second main benefit from beets that I want to talk about is the detoxification support that it gives you. And the way that works is there's a phytonutrient in beets called betanin. And that's known, they found that it's responsible for a lot of really good things, like it has anti-inflammatory effects, so it relieves inflammation in the body, but it also detoxifies and strengthens your liver, right? It's detoxifying your body. It has really strong capability to do that. I'm really into traditional Chinese medicine, Hippocrates era medicine, just let food be thy medicine kind of mentality. And what I've noticed is that throughout history, they've identified specific foods that help specific organs. Like for instance, goji berries, they're known to help recharge your kidneys. They're good for your kidneys. Well, in the same sense, it's been beets throughout history that are known to help your liver. So if you spent a lot of time, partying, doing some heavy drinking in your 20s maybe, like this guy, then you might want to consider including beets as a regular part of your diet, whether that means cooking them, pickling them, or juicing them, right? I mean, however you want to include them, because of that detoxification support, that phytonutrient, it's going to be really good to help rebuild, replenish your liver, keep that organ strong, because it's really important. Your liver processes a lot. A third benefit to consuming beets that I want to talk about, and I already spoke a little bit about this, is the anti-inflammatory effects of beets. And a lot of chronic diseases have been said to be related to chronic inflammation in the body. Well, the anti-inflammatory effects of beets can help relieve that inflammation, and that in turn, that they've seen in studies that consuming beets can lower your risk of heart disease, cancer, and other chronic diseases. So that's a really huge benefit. The anti-inflammatory effects, you can't overlook that. And another huge benefit of beets is the folate. Okay, there's many nutrients, the micronutrients in beets, but one of the highest concentrations is the folate. And folate is something that's really critical to the body. It has several critical functions, and it's especially critical during times of rapid growth. Okay, rapid growth meaning pregnancy, infancy, times where a person is growing rapidly. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're a woman watching this and maybe you're pregnant or you're trying, or maybe you're a man watching this and you and your wife are considering trying, add beets to the diet, because the high folate, or that vitamin B9, is really important for a woman who's pregnant, or for your child too. Our daughter, she loves beets. She likes pickled beets, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I don't know where she got that from. But yeah, my daughter loves beets. She's getting her folate, getting her B9, and that's really critical during infancy, toddlerhood, and as they're growing rapidly. Okay, I could keep going on and on about all the micronutrients. I remember there's a lot of copper. There's a lot of potassium, pretty good source of potassium, vitamin C, manganese. But just know that beets are a nutritional powerhouse. Aside from all the other benefits we talked about, they just give you a lot of quality micronutrients. Man, I'm such a nerd. I actually decided to wear my only purple shirt today, or purplish, to match the beet juice. It's like I'm representing beets. Hey, speaking of nerd, I learned a couple cool things about juicing. I'll show you really quick. All right, check this out. This is the like waste bin kind of thing. I don't know if you can see in there. There you go, now you can see that. That's all the fiber that was spit out during the juicing process of making this beet juice. And what you can do, I learned this from Jack LaLanne, by the way, you can take this leftover fiber and you can put it in other recipes like soups and stews and anything like that where it's just going to blend in. Because it's not just fiber, there's other nutrients in there as well, so you can get more nutritional benefit. It's like you're recycling, instead of just spitting out that fiber and wasting it, you're going to put it into something else and get use out of it. Also, another thing you don't want to just throw away is the greens, right? If you buy the whole beet and not just the beet root, the beet greens are also a really good source of various nutrients, something you should just not waste. You know, if you're going to saute something later, just saute them in with your stir fry and add them in there. Really good, really healthy. Don't waste your beet greens. And on the topic of being a nerd, guys, I love learning about ancient Eastern medicine based on nutrition. And to the point that I grow my own wheatgrass. See? Grow my own wheatgrass. It's so much cheaper this way. I'm actually planning on making a video in a couple weeks about how I do this and why. So if that's something you're interested in learning more about, please let me know down in the comments below, because I would love to make a whole series on different superfoods that I like to consume. I know a lot of people subscribe to Minus the Gym for the beginner routine and all these workout routines I've made on the channel. And trust me, I love calisthenics, I love body weight fitness, but I want Minus the Gym to be about more than just that. I really believe, like, it's my passion, I believe this deep in my heart, that the entire obesity epidemic, the healthcare crisis that's going on, most of it can be turned around with just body weight exercise that we can do at home or anywhere for that matter, and sensible nutrition, foods like beet juice, for instance, that we know is good for us, even if it's not the most delicious thing out there. It's not, it doesn't taste like bacon, but we know it's good for us, and that's what we need to focus on. So if that approach sounds good to you, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. All right, subscribe button's down below, and when you click subscribe, you'll see this bell icon there where the subscribe button was. Make sure you tap that bell too, because then YouTube will notify you. It'll push a notification to you every time I upload. All right, I hope you tried that juice recipe. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do, and I hope you reap the benefits of beets, because they are so good for you. All right, catch you in the next video.